So, Avengers Doomsday is in post-production, meaning they are putting the movie together, doing things like color grading, they're doing the visual effects. It's basically all coming together now. Yes, they are doing some additional photography pretty soon here, and they are, from what we hear, adding some more characters to the movie, or just characters that were always going to be a part of the movie. But due to scheduling, since there are so many characters in this movie, the actors couldn't be a part of the first round. So now the second round, they're going to be shooting their scenes. And from what we are hearing from insider buzz is good. From what we're hearing, the buzz around the movie already, based on people who have seen some of the post-production of it, it's good, which is great because sometimes we do hear bad things about a movie when it's being put together. But according to an insider, the buzz is good. According to Jeff Snyder from the Hot Mic podcast with John Roca, we are going to like the movie, which is good news to hear. And if you combine what he is saying, that we'll go over, with what some other people are saying, it looks like the movie is shaping up to be amazing. Of course, we'll wait and see, but here's what they are saying right now. So yesterday, host John Roca and Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast were talking about Avengers Doomsday, and Jeff Snyder, who has gotten many scoops right about Avengers Doomsday already, he was one of the first people to talk about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom and some other Doom-related things that have been proven right. So he's got good sources clearly, and what he's hearing from his sources is this. He states, it's still very much in post. Let me see if I have anything on that. I did check in before the show just in case. I did get a little something. Avengers is in post, and they still have a lot of pickups to do. The buzz is good. The buzz is good. You're going to like it. You're going to like the movie. That's great. This isn't going to be something that automatically comes out and be like, oh, it's amazing, because the movie's not done, right? It's post-production, but whoever his source is has seen things, and apparently what they saw is good. Now, you can't always judge the best way when things are in post and some visual effects aren't done yet. I think we've seen some films that actually have been released. I'm thinking of Wolverine in particular, where like not all the visual effects are done. Imagine that, but worse. So this is great news. And if you combine that with things that, like My Time to Shine Hello has said, she stated Avengers Doomsday is not only the most epic Avengers movie, but it might be the most epic movie of all time. The opening scene alone tops any previous Avengers movie, and the final battle is just insane. On top of that, John Campea recently said, the sheer amount of volume and action in this thing, when you are talking in terms of minutes on screen and scope, it's going to blow away everything that Marvel has ever done. He also did talk about his favorite opening scenes in comic book history, and he stated, it all depends on how it's executed, but I think the opening sequence of Doomsday is going to eclipse those. I really do. People are going to lose their mind. So insiders, whoever their sources are, they are hearing from them and are hearing great things about Avengers Doomsday so far. And if you think about everything that we've heard about Avengers Doomsday so far, yeah, it all sounds amazing. And I was talking about this in our CVA podcast. We're getting a lot of leaks for this, but at the same time, a lot is still a big mystery, right? Like, what exactly did Steve Rogers do to warrant Dr. Doom going to get him? Now, Jeff Snyder actually did say that he got basically an anonymous tip about the beginning of Avengers Doomsday, not necessarily the opening scene, because that is reportedly going to be with SpiderMan and the X-Men, two different universes combining, which that just sounds amazing as it is. So yeah, the opening scene could just totally blow our minds. But in the beginning of the movie, he received an anonymous tip that it's actually a different universe that Steve Rogers is in than the one that he stays back in time. According to that, he is actually in the 828 universe with the Fantastic Four. Right the day after Jeff Snyder said that he heard that from an anonymous source, My Time to Shine Hello came out and confirmed that. And then we heard from some other insiders as well state that Loki actually goes to Steve Rogers and says, hey, your timeline's going to be pruned. I got to take you away. And I'm assuming he takes Peggy as well. And then what we have seen already for that Avengers Doomsday teaser with Steve Rogers, that could actually be in the 828 universe. Of course, this is not confirmed, but this is what insiders are saying. That alone right there is just crazy to think about. That's a really cool plot in the movie already, and that is just such a small part of the movie. Everything else that we've been hearing does blow us away, me at least. I really like the direction that they're going. I'm worried about some stuff, but I like the direction they're going. And speaking of that, we actually have a new report from Alex Perez at the Cosmic Circus. We'll get to that in just a bit, but first, a big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to them for helping me kick off my new year right. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit with over 1 billion meals delivered. If you love cooking and eating great tasting, healthy food, but don't like to go shopping, they're perfect for you. They deliver meal kits right to your door, and the recipes take 30 minutes or less. I've been using their meals, and it makes my life so much easier not having to go shopping for food. No parking lots, no checkout lines, no forgetting ingredients, just amazing tasting food delivered right to you. They have over 15 high protein recipes every week you can choose from, which is perfect if you're trying to build muscle or get in better shape. I personally had a great time cooking their meals, and the end result tasted so good. And the instructions are super easy to follow, which I definitely needed. And the plans are incredibly flexible. I can pause, I can skip weeks or swap meals, no commitment, no pressure. And if you're someone who regularly gets takeout and does random grocery runs, HelloFresh can actually save you money. And the awesome part is right now you can get a freeze-willing 4-star chef's knife on your third box. That's $144.99 value plus 10 free meals, and your first box shipped free with the code CosmicWonder10FM at HelloFresh.com. Make sure to use my code to get this deal before supplies runs out. Offer valid while supplies last. The link will automatically opt you into HelloFresh's best active offer if redeeming after the activation. We actually have a new report from Alex Perez at the Cosmic Circus. The main themes of Avengers Doomsday will reportedly be sacrifice and loss. And that sounds kind of scary because sacrifice and loss to me means deaths. And actually, we have heard a previous report about sacrifice. Specifically, this was specifically pertaining to Sylvie. She sacrifices herself to Doom for Loki. So the report was that she was kind of on Doom's side a little bit because I'm assuming he was just very cunning and convinced her that he was a good guy and, didn't tell her his true plan. And once she figured it out, she realizes, okay, Doom's the bad guy. To save Loki, she sacrifices herself. Of course, unconfirmed, but that was a report going around for a pretty long time and haven't heard anything against that goes against that report recently. So sacrifice makes sense, especially if you consider the teasers that we've gotten so far. Steve Rogers has a baby. He has a wife. I think he has a wife. I think him and Peggy are married. It makes sense. I'm betting that he would sacrifice himself for them. I'm betting that he would sacrifice himself for the multiverse. I'm betting that Thor would sacrifice himself for his daughter, Love, because they made that very clear in his epic trailer. That's his life right now. He just wants to make everything good for her, right? So sacrifice and loss sounds scary. I don't want Thor to die. I really don't want Thor to die. I think he should go on in the MCU and become the All-Father. I've said that many times. I stand by it. I think we should get a new Thor, but I think Chris Hemsworth Thor should stay. He could still die and go to Valhalla and something could happen there. He could come back, right? In Marvel, and we're figuring this out now with the multiverse, in the MCU at least. In the comics, nobody's ever truly dead unless you're Uncle Ben. That's just how it is. Sorry, Peter. So going into this, that does sound heavy to me. And there's a quote here. What would you be willing to sacrifice to gain what you want? To succeed? To save the ones you love? Your morals? Your beliefs? Your powers? Your mortality? Your life? That again is pretty heavy. Some of these I think are pertaining to Doom, and some I think are pertaining to other people. Like, what would you be willing to sacrifice to gain what you want, to save the ones you love? Your morals, your beliefs. I don't know why. This kind of makes me think of Namor, because in Secret Wars, he's not really a good guy. He's part of the Cabal, actually. So he's not exactly a good guy in the MCU as well. He is working with Wakanda, but I'm wondering how quickly he would switch sides. I am betting that in Avengers Doomsday, we're going to see some characters switch sides who believe what Doom is doing is for the better good of the multiverse. I think Doctor Strange is one of those people as well. I don't think he'll really betray anyone. Like, I don't think he's gonna like go out and like try to kill anybody. But I think he might decide, like in the comics, that yeah, Doctor Doom lied to us, he tricked us, but at the core of what he's trying to do, yeah, there's only one way to actually save everything. Because I do think it's going to be like a domino effect. Once the first incursion it started, now it's just the whole multiverse is going to be destroyed and you can't really stop it. I think that's where we're going to be at. And that's where a lot of that sacrifice and loss is going to come into play. I hate this because it's going to be painful to watch if we see this. But sacrifice and loss, I think about the report of Tobey Maguire's opening scene that is his universe dying. Those are the recent reports. It's going to be his universe and the X-Men universe. They're having an incursion, so they're colliding. The X-Men just kind of show up and they just start fighting. I hope, according to Alex Perez, he does live. Tobey Maguire's SpiderMan lives because the TVA save him. But you have to imagine, are they just saving him? Does MJ get left behind? Does he have a daughter? Does she get left behind? Do they die? What happens? That would be a pretty gut-wrenching scene if Toby loses MJ and his family in the beginning of the movie. His whole universe is just poof, gone. I would really like the TVA to save him and MJ, but if he's fighting the X-Men and the world is crashing, I don't know if they'd have time or would even go think to go save MJ. He would try, but what if the TVA just takes him away? That's something that, to me, that's loss. Now, there are going to be people who sacrifice themselves so others could live, but there's loss. Like, those are two kind of the same, but also different at the same time. So that's already going to be, I think, a more heavy movie than we're used to. I mean, Avengers Infinity War was pretty heavy at the end there, right? But it seems a lot more serious, which I honestly think we need for a big movie like this. Of course, it's going to have the Marvel humor. We're going to love it. But it's going to be a pretty serious movie. And I think just everything that we've heard so far, yeah, it's going to be a lot of what we're not expecting. But yeah, this is pretty great news so far. These aren't necessarily early reactions. Like, no test screening has happened. So these insiders are literally hearing from like inside people at Marvel, whether they're working at Marvel or working with Marvel, doing editing, post, production and stuff like that. They're hearing things and they are hearing good things, which is great news for us. So let me know what you think. Do you think Avengers Doomsday is going to meet or surpass your expectations, or do you not think so? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on everything with Avengers Doomsday and Marvel. And you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.